Hi, my name is Gary Lawson. I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Bible Discovery. Now today we're going to be in the book of 2 Timothy, and we're going to take a look at the words of Paul. He has written to Timothy, and he has given him specific instructions, but there's something that he wants Timothy to know. Let me read this for you as we both discover this. You, however, know all about my teaching. Now, Paul's talking about himself and the persecutions that he has gone through. You, however, know all about my teaching, my way of life, my purpose, faith, patience, love, endurance, persecutions, sufferings, what kinds of things happened to me in Antioch, Iconium, and Lystra, the persecutions I endured. Yet the Lord rescued me from them all. Well, these are very good words for those of you who are Christians trying to do the Lord's will in spreading the gospel and introducing others to Jesus Christ. Along the way, we find that persecutions come. Now, I know that word persecution is a pretty strong word, but difficulties come to us, don't they? Not everyone responds to the message that we have for them. Their eyes have been closed for so long, they just fail to understand or grasp what we are trying to share. And this becomes frustrating. In other ways, circumstances may even prevent us from sharing the gospel. I grew up in a city called Syracuse, New York. Great place to grow up in my day. And I noticed recently that the city council has passed a law saying that you cannot be out on the street corner with an amplifier spreading any kind of message at all. They don't narrow it to just Christianity. But they say no one can be out there with an amplifier speaking to the people on the streets unless you get a city permit. Well, of course, the rub here is the expense involved in getting a city permit. So if you want to go out onto the street and spread the gospel, government comes in and limits you. There are all kinds of organizations that exist today that are trying to take God out of our public life. Of course they can't do that, but boy, they sure are trying their best. I think of so many of them that say there has to be a separation of church and state, and the point is they just don't want to be faced or confronted with the Christian faith, and so they do all that they can to work against it. Times will be difficult, and these certainly fall under the category of one persecution or another. Paul was trying to explain to Timothy that don't get discouraged. Don't slow down. Don't refrain from doing what God has called you to do. It's so important that that message continue to be preached throughout the world. And people will come as a result of your preaching. They'll come and they'll accept Christ. Not everyone. Many will reject it out of hand. But certainly many will come if you're faithful in the preaching of the Word. Now, I hope these words have been meaningful to you today. Are you having a tough time in your ministry? Oh, I'm not talking about the paid clergy. I'm talking about everyday Christians who have been called to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Are you having it tough? Are you having a rough way to go of it? I want you to remember these words of Paul as he shared them with Timothy. when he said God had delivered him from all of the persecutions that came his way. He'll deliver you too. May God bless you.